Well, good afternoon, everybody. We are headed into town, Dottie and I, because we're bored. This trip absolutely could have waited until tomorrow. All we really have to do is drop off a bag of garbage. It's in the back of the truck. Could have stayed there for days. And then we need to fill a propane tank. One of 5 propane tanks, so there was really no need to fill the tank until tomorrow. But we were bored. We wanted to get out. It's kind of low. I'm yawning a little bit. Couple things going on today. It's chilly. It's chilly today. So that's interesting. I just discovered while I was having trouble with my CarPlay, it will not allow me to connect to my camera and CarPlay at the same time. I thought it would definitely let me. Oh, I got it yawn again. I thought it would let me. I've connected to more than one Bluetooth device simultaneously, but it will not let me simultaneously connect to both of these. So that's kind of interesting. And I don't really need to connect to my camera just to actually hit the record. I can hit the record button remotely, which I've already done. So I'll just need to remember that. The other purchase that I have made recently is I've been resisting for many years getting Apple earbuds. And because I really think they're white and they have that little stalk, I just think they look very odd. And they haven't removed that long stalk, so I guess it's absolutely necessary for what they do. But the thing that, while they were on sale, they're the Pro 2 model, and they're on sale for less than $200. And here's the thing that got me. I believe, a low level of hearing impairment. And these have been certified now as over-the-counter hearing aid devices. And I've watched quite a few review videos, and they do quite well. And there are environments that are noisy where I just can't communicate with people. When I was at Silly Al's the other day, I could not talk to anyone at the table, and everyone else seemed to be able to have conversations. So we'll see if that helps. I'd sure like to do that versus having to pay for, a real prescription-based high-end hearing aid, which can be thousands of dollars, and insurance doesn't pay for that, which it amazes me, but it doesn't pay for it. Why Medicare? Okay, you're gonna wonder, and you're gonna ask me what's going on, Rob? Why are you yawning so much? All right. I hesitate to say I'm sick because I get this every year in Quartzsite, very low level. People call it the Quartzsite crud, and it usually comes up when the winds come up and something gets into my system, and I feel lethargic and achy. I don't have a sore throat. I don't have a cough. I feel tired and achy. So that's why you're hearing me yawn over and over again, even though I've done nothing all day. Dottie and I went for a super short. Well, actually, I just let her out on the tether, and I didn't even walk Dottie today. It was cold, and I was so tired. And I've been on the Barca Launcher all day. And I'm just going to stop here real quick. Take the trash out. So anyway, people call it the Quartzsite crud. Medically, do I know what it is? I have no idea. But it's a familiar feeling that I have for a couple of days every season. A couple of friends of mine said they just got here, they got it. People seem to chime in the past couple of days. And the winds picked up the past 2 days, Monday and Tuesday. There's Rich again, I think. No, was that Rich? No, that wasn't Rich. I was thinking it was my friend Rich. It's not. It is certainly filling out here in terms of rigs. There are a lot out here. It's filling up. Quartzsite's filling up pretty fast. But you will still hear people on YouTube. One will say, oh, it's so much. There's no one here. It's so much less than last year. And the next one will say, there's so many more here than last year. And the only entity that could say with some accuracy, at least in the LTVAs, would be the BLM selling permits. And I don't, they certainly don't publish it, and they probably figure it out afterwards. I'm sure they have records in each office of how many they sell, but I doubt they aggregate it, in a way where the number would be readily accessible from day to day. That statistics, they have a business report they do every year that includes that information, but like for this year, it'd be a year from now before you have access to it. Now, Tim used to fly his drone over here, and I wish he was back again this year because I said, hey, you can just do the drone on the same day on the same flight path next year, and I bet there's software out there we can get to count rigs. I bet there is some software out there that'll count man-made objects or something. But he's not out here this year. He's over in a different area. Going by the Blue Boy dump station. And if you're like, what does that mean? Well, that's a separate dump station that's just for people that have totes that are, I think technically it's 35 gallons or less. And I think they need to change that to 36 because the standard now for a Camco tote, for the largest one, I think it's the largest one, it's the most common, it's 36. So it's a gallon over what they technically allow. And I suspect that the original totes that were used that were blue, I don't know what company made them, I bet they were 35. And that's why they made the rule. So the thing they're really set to avoid is a lot of people use 50-gallon drums. And that's absolutely too much for that. So if you have 50-gallon drum or drums, you have to take it to the regular dump site. And I do see people with one or two 50-gallon drums. I still have 150 left from that debacle with going to a ATM and taking out $200, and they gave me 450s. It's not convenient. Not convenient at all. Yeah, I just was sitting here reading a comment that came up, and Virginia Hankey said, the algorithms are important to me because I try to make sure I always like a video so you can be rewarded, or whoever I'm watching can be rewarded for that above and beyond watching the video. It's good to know that just watching matters. And it's largely what I said. What I said was subscribers, likes, comments don't matter as much as watching. You know, watching, the more videos you watch of a channel, the more that video is pushed out there, and the more views that it gets. Certainly, it probably considers activity like likes and comments, but it's very heavily what's watched. How many people watch this video, and how many people watch more than one video? More than one video from a particular provider, and this came from a video interview I saw of the guy that's the primary guy that is in charge of that process at YouTube. But I certainly notice it firsthand that I have a pretty high percentage of people that watch my videos that aren't subscribers, like 50%, and I hear a lot of
1540, 34.50 change.
Thank you. Hang on, I want to tip you here. There, thank you.
Thank you. Oh, I get a cookie for your dog. Let me grab a cookie.
Okay. Dottie's getting a cookie, guys. Dottie is getting a cookie. So 4.4 gallons, so it only had 0.2
Just the
left.
last 2 pieces.
There you go, Dottie. Look what you got. Thank you.
Have a good day, buddy. Thanks.
So Dottie got a very rare snack. So I wanted to, because I'm not hooked up, I can't tell. I think I'm still, I better still be recording. If I'm not still recording, something broke. We're gonna go down to the cheesesteak place and buy a cheesesteak and buy a big one. I'm gonna buy a big one and have half for dinner or maybe half for lunch tomorrow. Hope it's still open. It's a little late in the afternoon. It's 3:30. We'll see if it's still open. And I don't think I've ever tried it before. Someone asked me, have you had that? And I'm like, if I have, I can't remember. I can't remember it. I don't think I have. So it's on Main Street here on the other side of Central, so on the west side of Central on the left-hand side. It's right near Silly L's Pizza, before you get to Silly L's. So there's a little parking lot there, and it's in a trailer. I got distracted. I don't know whether I finished my thought on, a lot of people complain that, hey, only 10% of my viewers are subscribers, and they use that to try to tell people, please subscribe. You notice I don't do that. I don't ever do that. For 2 reasons, and I'll tell you the 2 reasons after I finish this thought. And they say I hear this frequently, only 10% of my views are from subscribers. Well, mine are 50%, because mostly people that watch my channel a lot, they get it into their feed on their homepage when they log on, because the algorithm doesn't really care whether you subscribe or not. They care whether you watch the videos. If you watch the videos, guess what? They'll deliver more. And that's the guy from YouTube kept hammering home the idea that the single most important thing is what do they watch and how long do they watch it. That's just the bottom line. The reason, well, the two reasons I don't ask for subscribers. One, I don't think that it matters. And you're asking people to watch the sometimes silly advertisements. That's how I get my income, is through my share of the advertising income. And it's enough to ask people to do. I don't think it's a good practice to ask for people to do more than that. So I think you'll be able to watch me do this. I'm going to go up there and order one. Oh, I dropped a quarter, but I found it. Miracle. Let's see the menu.
Hi.
Hello. Let's see. So what's the difference between Philly and plain?
The Philly has the mushrooms and onions, the plain does not.
Philly. I'll take a Philly.
Okay. Got everything for you?
That's it.
Horseradish on the side?
No, thank you. So are you from Philly? No? Just appreciate the food, huh?
Yes. Absolutely. 12, 13, 14, 15, and 20. I could say I'd never been there, but I have been there.
That's nice. You put your tips back in the community, huh?
I sure do.
That's great. Well,
so
that's
thank
good to
you
know.
for that. Like Thanksgiving morning, we went and delivered about 30 sandwiches to people around the area that I knew probably.
Well, that's really nice. I'm recording me from my truck. They can't see you, but you can hear the audio. I have a YouTube channel, and I'll certainly give you a shout out for doing that wonderful thing with your tips.
Thank you.
That's it.
Perfect.
And what's your name?
Robin.
Robin. You're Robin of Robin's Roost.
I am the Roost. To the
Oh, it's
Robin.
warm. I bet it's going to be good. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. So isn't that cool that she gives back to the community? She's giving out sandwiches to people that can't afford it. And tell you what I'm going to do, guys. I am going to hold off on the closing of this video. And I'll do the closing back at camp after, and I'll do it by opening the sandwich, cutting it, and taking a bite. How's that sound? In the meantime, we're going to just go back to camp. I'm properly entertained. And we'll just let you enjoy the road trip back to camp. See, you can see the sun is just so low. It's only 3:30 and the sun's pretty low in the sky. We're getting towards December 21st, which will be the shortest day and the earliest sunset all year round. And then you know what happens on December 22nd? We're actually officially in winter. But the other thing that happens is in the winter, every single consecutive day is longer than the previous day. Until June 21st, where we get to the longest day. Isn't that something? And we start summer, and it doesn't feel like it. But in summer, every consecutive day, starting on June 22nd, gets shorter and shorter and shorter until it reaches December 21st. Again. So days get longer in the winter and they get shorter in the summer. And it seems like it should be the opposite, but The only way it seems like it's the opposite, but because of what you're used to, when summer starts, the days are long. It's the summer's here, long days, because it starts with a long day and it gets incrementally shorter. And then in winter, you start winter and you think of it, oh my gosh, it's terrible. The days are so short, and you don't really notice right away that as every day of winter progresses, the days get longer and longer. It's a good bar bet. It's like our days get shorter in the winter and longer in the summer. True or false? I'd say most people would say that's true. And you can say, well, I'll bet you a beer or a Coke that it's false. And they'll take the bet, and you won't even have to Google it. You'll explain it to them just like I did, and they'll go, oh, that's right. It's true. So on the left here is La Posa North. On the right, La Posa West. These are the first two long-term visitor areas. There's four of them. There's two up here, and then there's the two below where I'm staying, La Posa South where we're going. And if I were to make a right where I'm going to make a left here, it would be La Posa West. And the permit, the long-term visitor permit, is good at all four of these. You can bounce around if you want from area to area. Thing you need to keep in mind is that when you're looking for the services that are included with the pass, which is the dump station and the fresh water, that is all you need to travel to La Posa South to get those things. Now, the hope is by next year, there are brand new shiny water stations and dump stations in La Posa Tyson Wash down here, but it's not active because the well drilling failed. I believe it failed. Just there wasn't enough volume and pressure. So hopefully they'll get that resolved by next year. They'll open the new ones and everything will be great. I'll have to test the water all over again. Be kind of silly, but I'll have the test strips. Bought a whole jar of them. It's really not that far down here to the second set of LTVAs, right up here where the brown sign is. We're coming up on it fast. A lot of areas here, there are all kinds of ways you can get in and out of the area other than the main entrance. And that's okay to do, except here in La Posa South. They have a specific rule for La Posa South. This is the only way in or out, and you're violating the rules if you use any other entrance or exit. And there are a couple that are used frequently that that are technically a violation of the rules. I think what they worry about is, especially down here, and I'm surprised it's not a rule in Tyson Wash as well, that I think they worry that if you don't use the main entrance and you're crossing at an unpredictable place, it may cause an accident because it's so high speed here. People are often, the speed limit's 55, but I think in a stretch just before you get here, it's 65 coming up from Yuma. And some people don't slow down to 55. So it's a pretty high speed, 2-lane highway without really any kind of shoulder to pull off on or to divert, or it's dangerous. And I'm sure that's why they do it. We're going to be heading pretty much into the sun here. That Philly 8-inch Philly cheesesteak has got to be driving Dottie a little bit crazy here, but I'm seeing a little drool. Dottie, come here. Oh, that's a hair. That's not drool. It's well enough wrapped where she's not. I was going to say that she's not smelling it. There's no way she could smell anything. Can't you, Dottie? Maybe she's not a Philly cheesesteak fan. So I did absolutely solved, I think, the dilemma where my phone wasn't connecting to the new stereo head CarPlay because it won't do it and connect to the camera at the same time for whatever reason. Because certainly if I don't try to do that, it works. Every time so far it works when I'm not using the camera. So. One of the things I keep mentioning is there's a speed limit in the LTVA of 15 miles per hour, but that's not as important as understanding the etiquette when you're anywhere near others' campsites, is to go at the speed that is necessary to not be kicking up a cloud of dust. And you determine that speed by looking in your rear view or side view mirror. In my case, it's going to be the side view mirrors. And if you see dust kicking up behind you, slow it down to a speed where that dust is no longer coming up. I don't know if you can see how steep that is. This is pretty steep. You absolutely would not be pulling a rig through this. Absolutely not. You probably heard one of the drive tires slipped just a little bit. I have a rear differential lock that sometimes I'll turn that on when I go through there just in case. But I didn't this time. Angles of hills are hard to see on the camera. So however steep that you think it is on your TV or phone, it's far steeper than it looks. So going by my people I'm camping with, no one's outside because it's cold, cold, cold. And we have arrived back at Camp Dottie. We're here. Here we are. All right. Now I'm safe connecting to it. And so I can turn off the recording. And I need to just get out that replace it. You can see at the front there, that black cover goes over my propane there, and I'm just gonna replace that, and then Dottie and I will go inside. Get Dottie's leash here. We've taken care of the propane. Come on. Ooh, that's warm. She clearly had them. She had them pre-made. Not a bad thing. And we're up to 90, check it out, it's 93%. is I had everything turned off. You see, it's putting in 20. Here, you can see this. Dottie, come on. Come on in. Come on. Dottie, come. Come on. Good girl. Yeah, I want to show you something. It's okay, Dottie. You'll get fed soon. All right, so I want to show you something. I'm going to take this off so I make sure that you're seeing. There, you see, it's 93 per Dottie, no, 20 amps it's putting in. So I'm going to reach over here and I'm going to turn on the inverter in the Starlink and watch what happens to that. 18, 16, 14, 7. It's basically cut in half because I turned on the inverter and fired up the Starlink. And where's George? Where's your kitty? Let's see where George is. Hi, George. How's the kitty? Are you hungry too? Do you want your food? Your brother's, your sister's being very demanding. All right, enough. No barks. Okay. Dottie, no. She gets conditioned to. We go someplace and we come inside this time of afternoon that it is, it's time to eat, and it's not yet. It's too early. So, Dottie, you're gonna have to chill out. All right. Well, as promised, I'm gonna show you what that cheesesteak looks like, and we'll see how it tastes. Here it is. Robin's Roost. We'll take that off and we will unwrap it. Ooh, it looks like the genuine article to me. We'll take a knife and we will cut it. Let's get some light so you can really see that. We'll take a taste. Yep, guys, it's as good as it looks. So as not to torture my dog. Here you go, Dottie. Here you go. Well, it's Dottie approved. So what we will do is we will put one of these away for tomorrow and put it in the fridge. And this one we will have for dinner tonight. So we will kind of wrap that up, try to keep it warm, and we'll probably put it right here. We'll eat it in an hour or so when Dottie gets her full thing, and we'll heat it up maybe a little in the microwave, and we'll have that for our dinner. All right. Okay, Dottie, so should we close this video out? That's my vote. So unhook that, get back around to me, and as usual, I'm very grateful for you watching these videos, and I hope this one wasn't too boring. It wasn't a very exciting trip, other than Robin's Roost. That was really cool that the tips go back into the community and she feeds people. I wouldn't say there's a homeless problem in Quartzsite, but there are homeless people and people that are in dire need in Quartzsite, and she's reaching out to them and feeding them. I think that's great. And take care, and I'll see you on the next one tomorrow.